Before we start, do you want to stick 50p in the meter?
Yeah, I wonder how much that would get you.
Hello, I'm Gav.
I'm Dan.
We're the Slow-Mo guys. We're in a mine.
We're actually at the Colorado School of Mines.
We've been here a few times, we've never been in the mines.
I didn't believe them. I was like, no.
You just thought it was a stone pit where we blow stuff up.
Yeah.
Actually also has mines. In this video, we're going to be using high voltage and see what happens when said voltage goes through a metal wire.
Yeah, the idea is to completely over voltage energize the wire until it basically explodes.
And I think we need very fast cameras to do that, so why don't we go and take a look?
All right.
The high voltage equipment is in this 20-person refuge chamber. So, you know, if anything happens while we're doing this, we'll sort it out. A lovely little room.
It's a cute little room.
First time we filmed in a little cave hole refuge.
That's what this is, pretty much.
Yeah.
So what the experiment is we've got this unassuming metal box over here, okay? And that's got four 50,000 volt capacitors in parallel. We've got here the two sort of crocodile clips where we've got a nickel chromium wire. We're going to start with 0.25 of a mil thick.
And in theory, with that much voltage suddenly rushing through it, it'll just get vaporized.
That's the idea.
Because of that, we'll need an incredibly fast phantom. We'll probably go all the way to the top on this bad boy today.
What, 1.75?
1.75. Haven't done that since Medi. Oh.
It's true. It seems to be a common reoccurring theme with electricity.
But in addition to that, we'll be using the Shimadzu with the addition of Schlieren imagery, which is a technique we've not used on the channel yet, but it's responsible for some very famous footage. Great for visualizing air density, shock waves, stuff that you can't typically see with just a lens and a camera. And it's done with mirrors. So between the Shimadzu and our Phantom, we've got this covered.
I should think so.
So this is pretty much just to get an idea of how big physically this is going to be.
To my eyes, it looked big.
So this is actually going to be our lowest frame rate.
Just starting at a
casual 80.
80.
Oh, it's just like the sun came on. What happened at the beginning there?
The whole thing just went.
Okay,
look at
so
that.
Big. Oh, you can see.
You can see it.
Oh,
wait.
What is that? A reflection? What is that? What is that?
Yeah, what is that? Is that the sides of the
okay, well, there's something. Big old flash, and then it's just on, then another big flash. We are going to have to go so far down on frame rate to see that separation.
It was what? It was blue to my eyes there. Oh, look at all this gumph going on here.
This is quite interesting. I think we'll keep at this frame rate and framing and just lower the exposure, because I do want to see what was in that big ball. And when I go higher on the frame rate, I won't see the whole ball.
I'm sorry, that was a fireball.
That was a fireball.
You were just like, yeah, I think I'm going to change it. I'm like, wait, why is there a fireball? That's amazing.
Plasma, isn't it?
So that was 30,000 volts.
Okay, down to a microsecond exposure.
Okay, same wire, same voltage.
Same wire, same voltage. Ooh,
wow.
Sausagey. That one didn't have the same flashes at the beginning, did it?
Oh,
it did.
It did. What is that? It's so bright. And then look at all of these like individual
tiny
trails.
sparks.
Tiny little ones.
It's like
fuzzy.
It's like just turned to gas.
Yeah.
And then fire.
Yeah. So there's
look briefly the Eye of Sauron.
He's watching. There's a shockwave and then the flame front afterwards. So it's a boom with a shockwave coming out, then the sound, then the flame front.
Okay, so I'm at about a microsecond there. Might have to take this to 95 nanoseconds. And maybe stop the lens all the way down.
Is that the lowest you can go then?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still going to blow it out.
95 NS.
Oh wow, you can see more.
See how it... Okay, so the sausage becomes the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
It starts like this and then goes... Whoop.
We're looking at some seriously scientific stuff. And what we come up with, the sausage becomes... The bratwurst becomes the Eye of Sauron. Yes.
I'm just putting it into terms that I understand.
Yeah, I get it. Wow. You can see so much more at this exposure. Look at it. But it's still blown out.
We actually see the, I assume the arc.
Yeah.
And then...
Plasma. And then it just turns into a big old fireball. You can see it, like reverberates, doesn't it? Like
yeah.
It must be sucking in the gas or the air. It must be burning the air around it.
I think it's time we crank this frame rate. Okay, so resolution-wise, we can go down to 1280 by 96.
So we're just getting the initial part again then.
Yeah, and that'll give us, well, because we got the rest of it. We got the fire.
Sure.
And that'll give us 617,000 frames a second. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Wow. Whoa. What's that?
It looks so fluffy.
It looks just like fluff, and then what's that?
We're now seeing what that second flash was. Okay, so let's do this frame by frame.
Right, yeah, we need to.
Firstly, all in one frame, the whole wire. There's like no travel across any of that. So we're not even at the frame rate fast enough to see it if it starts at one end and goes to the other.
Yeah.
Just vaporizes the wire.
That's amazing.
And then there's a discharge through.
It's like lightning.
Yeah.
Is that what happens with volcanoes when there's all the ions, the free ions?
Yeah, it's just like really easy for an arc to go through.
So I assume that because, say we've got a lot of voltage in the capacitors to blow the wire,
Yeah.
the wire's blown, and then it has this other easy path to go through, and the remaining voltage.
Yeah, it waits for ideal conditions and then the secondary discharge.
Oh, wow. Plasma is cool.
And I love that we're at this speed and color, like to see the orange and the blue at the same time.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna bin the sensor and we'll just go, see if we can go straight to 1.75 million.
Okay.
This video is sponsored by Factor. Factor is a meal delivery service that I've been using since the start of the pandemic. I've actually done several ad reads on other shows that I'm on, but this is their first time sponsoring a Slow-Mo Guys video, so I'm very grateful for that. My favorite thing about Factor is that it cuts down on the amount of time I spend in the supermarket and discourages me from ordering expensive fast food when I'm busy or in a hurry. Because every week in the fridge, I've got 6 to 8 meals ready to stab multiple times and stick in the microwave for 2 minutes. Factor also has nutritional options like smoothies and juice that you can just quickly grab and go as a snack. I encourage you to give them a go. If you're interested, head over to factor75.com or use the link in the description and use code 50SlowMoGuys to get 50% plus free shipping off your first Factor box. That's code 50SlowMoGuys at factor75.com to get 50% plus free shipping off your first Factor box. Videos like this where we travel and bring a bunch of kit with us and we need special insurance because they're quite dangerous are very expensive to make, so big old thanks to Factor for sponsoring this video.
It gets me.
I bet it worked.
Oh, did it? Yep. Nice.
Okay, 1.75 million FPS,
Yep.
95 nanosecond exposure,
Yep.
F22.
Okay. Oh, wow. We get the second flash again.
But is there any more information on that?
Oh. There's, what, 3 frames of it happening? 1, 2, 3.
It looks like the whole thing heats up at once.
It does, doesn't it? It looks
And
like
it's just vapor in 4 frames.
and then the plasma lightning again.
There's less detail in the image, but more temporal detail.
Yeah, more that's a good way of putting it.
Onto the Shimadzu footage now. This camera only takes 256 images at a time, but it can go much faster and set a much shorter exposure duration than the Phantom.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can see the definition there. That's what you can see, is what used to be wire, the material, less of the flame, I guess, more of the...
It's really just showing how thin the actual initial moment is. Like to our other camera, it looks thicker, it looks wider because it's blowing out beyond its actual dimensions. And look, we're filming too slow to notice it, but if I slightly speed it up, you can see the shockwave go back and forth along the wire.
Oh, I noticed that, yeah.
There are certain points where, I don't know whether the wire was maybe slightly thicker or thinner, but you get these little puffs of additional wider sparks.
You could do it 1 trillion times and it would be different every single time.
Here we are at 5 million frames a second. It's crazy how there's no actual travel down the path of the wire. It just like slowly fades up uniformly across the whole thing.
Looks like some sort of elvish writing going across the middle there. We're actually seeing alien language. When you had the Windows Media Player and it had the patterns that you would use.
Tiny arcs on an arc almost.
This close up and this slow, you can effectively see the wire like dematerializing into tiny particles. And then there's smaller arcs forming in the first gaps in the wire. That is wild. What a crazy moment in time. Okay, so we're exposed so dark that it's basically impossible to see any shockwave, which is why we also have the Schlieren footage. So let's take a cheeky look at that. We're going to be exposed a lot brighter, but we should be able to see the shockwave afterwards. Ready?
Yep.
Bosh! Oh, that's a lovely dome.
That's perfect. That's class.
So you can see here we're so bright, and the phantoms do this too, where sometimes you can get so intensely bright that it just flips. It kind of like overflows the pixel value back to 0. Like it's so bright that it's black. I love that. We're slowing down the camera because the shockwave would be too slow.
Compared to what
because we can only get 256 images. We would just miss the shockwave if we were shooting faster, or we would just have to time it later. You can faintly see here on this one the shockwaves from the two side explosions creeping in from the left and right. Once again, just adding a completely new dimension to the footage there.
Yeah, each shot is something totally different, isn't it?
Oh, that's great. Even though it was, an arc across a length of wire, the shockwave seems to be a complete spherical dome from the center of the wire.
Oh, interesting.
It almost looks like there's some turbulence of the shockwave.
Yeah,
like of the air surrounding. Like, look at that.
Yeah, on the left and the top. Looks like one of those eye boogers. You know the things?
Yeah, like a floaty eye thing.
Yeah, floaty eye thing.
And you can see like the weird detail, almost the imperfections of the shockwave. It's just like an echo of the explosion. An exact map of what the explosion surface looked like. For our final experiment, we tested a slightly longer coiled wire at 50,000 volts. Ooh. Whoa. So it looks like the second flash is instant, or it's just more hidden?
Wait, keep going. Oh, no, okay, yeah. Yeah, it seems like it was instant and it followed the spiral. I wasn't sure if it was going to just jump straight from the point to point.
It couldn't just go through the middle?
No, because I imagine the perfect conditions are exactly where the wire's been, right?
And I guess we're only looking at from like a 2D perspective.
Yeah.
So it's not like this, it's like this.
Exactly.
So it has to, there's no path through the middle.
Exactly. It's amazing, isn't it?
Got one on the left side.
One frame there.
One frame, so the whole thing lights up. Oh, there's a little sort of defect there. It looks like a light bulb there. Yeah, it looks like a filament.
Yeah, doesn't it? So it bursts it and then there's an arc.
There's only like 1 or 2 frames of fluff before the doof, and there's the arc straight away.
Immediately. And before there was at least like 6 or 7 frames of fluff.
Oh, there's way more than that.
Yeah. Oof. That's awesome. Have you ever seen a spiraling electrical arc?
No. I mean, if that's what's happening, that is very cool. After filming this, I couldn't stop thinking about this strange frame from earlier.
What is that?
That could just be artifacts, but yeah, it seems like there's dots leading up.
Yeah.
It might just be the sensor. So obviously, I had to bring in the electricity expert. All right, Mehdi, you're my go-to expert, of course, when it comes to electricity.
Obviously, yes.
So we were putting 30,000 volts through this 0.25 millimeter wire.
Wow. Where did you get 30,000 volts? I need one of those.
So I showed the little, I think it was 4 capacitors in parallel.
At what frame rate are you now?
This is at 617,000 frames a second.
That's fast.
So the cable just seems to vaporize.
Yeah, I can see that.
I thought it was like a lens flare or just like a camera artifact. But every time we shot it at full res, we saw this one frame.
Right, yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
Something is dripping off the electrodes or something?
And it didn't really make much sense to me because there's nothing below that. But these little blue flashes are coming up in like separated dots from underneath.
Is it like a single frame that you have that? Or
Yeah,
do you have
it's only
more?
one frame.
Oh, so this happens right before the explosion, right?
Right before the event.
Right.
Well, that was my main question. I was like, do you think it would make any sense for there to be sparks or flashes or arcs for one frame below an event?
What is this?
What is it? Maybe it's the brightest point of the next frame. Like if the arc starts somewhere, maybe it's so bright that it's causing errors on the sensor somewhere. But then it was weird to me that it happened on the frame previously.
Before, yeah.
And it should be a global shutter.
Yeah, it's a global shutter. That's what I was thinking, yeah. If it's a global shutter, it should capture everything at the same time so you don't leak images into each other.
Exactly.
And it is right on, well, it's like 20 centimeters under the wire. It's not,
Yeah,
I mean, the wire hasn't even started to get warm, right?
right.
And in your higher frame rates, you don't have like your image is cropped, so you don't see those anyways, right?
So I did see it on a higher frame rate. So let me switch.
You see that artifact on this too? What is the frame rate here?
The frame rate here is 1.75 million.
Wow.
So can you see this now?
Yeah. It must be the camera. Something in the camera, no?
I think it must be, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's, you know how the light bounces between like top and bottom of the glass?
Yeah.
And if it is too bright, which is the case here, those dots might be what you're seeing, the reflections inside the glass that shoot out. Some of it shoots out and some of it keeps reflecting forward. What doesn't make sense? Like in the other one you showed me, like for example, if it is happening inside the glass, as it travels, it becomes dimmer. But from what you showed me in the other one, it was getting brighter, going lower.
Yeah.
I wish at 1.75 million frame rate you had pointed your camera down to that strange artifacts.
I wish that too, and I just didn't really notice it. I noticed it in the first one. I just thought it was an artifact, so I didn't really focus on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand why these lines are exactly vertical.
Yeah, that was, and I think the reason I see it in this one and not the previous one I showed at 1.75 is that this had a brighter exposure.
Considering the distance between them is kind of fixed as well.
At 80,000, which is the previous one, I saw them for one frame.
Right.
At 1.75 million frames a second, I saw them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames.
What is going on?
This one to me, see, this is the 80,000, so this is not nearly as fast. But I feel like you are seeing the spread of the line all in a single frame. I feel like this potentially has the travel of those 6 frames, but just burned into one frame in the way that it starts as a dot,
right,
and then they get kind of wider and bigger. So that to me says camera issue. But I think that's fine if it is within either the camera sensor or an artifact of the lens being just too bright on the sensor or too bright in the lens. That makes sense to me. But as long as you don't think that was happening in reality, because that would be...
No, I know it shouldn't. Like electrically, why would you have dots of energy? Well, I mean, you can make a conspiracy theory around it, but I don't think there's any conspiracy here. It's just stationary, bright dots in the middle of the air for no reason. That doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
If I wanted to make some conspiracy theory, I would say, hey, maybe it is sending some ultrasonic sound that is reflecting from the ceiling and makes this standing wave of ultrasonic. But ultrasounds travel at sound speed, not the.
Yeah, I don't think sound would have even made it to the camera.
Yeah, probably the sound hasn't left the wire yet when you're filming, so that conspiracy theory doesn't work either.
How is this happening on a global shutter, though?
I suggest you try to remake the situation continuously. Then you know. Other than that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to see if I can replicate this.
Yeah. What are those?
This is, I believe, where the wire was at its weakest and starts to break down.
Starts breaking up, huh?
There's these little micro arcs.
That's cool.
I think the faded gray is where like the wire was just shedding particles.
Yeah, I think that's what they call scattering. I mean,
yeah,
like if you have a surface close to it, you would have like it plated with the wire.
Yeah, they actually in this room used to test it going through different materials, like through perspex, and the perspex was all just caked in gunk from the wires. But yeah, isn't that cool how? I mean, each of these arcs, these little arcs there, must last 200 or 300 nanoseconds.
That's cool, and especially like when you see these tiny explosions, it's like watching the surface of some Jupiter's moon where volcanoes. It's so cool that we can capture these nowadays.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? 5 million frames a second.
Yeah, but do you see those dots in these too as well, or not?
On the faster camera, we didn't ever see them. Okay, well, thank you very much, Mehdi, for helping me with this sanity check. And
Yeah.
I think we've decided together that it's just an artifact of either that camera or that lens and not reality.
It is nothing that I can explain electrically, although I don't know, you can always make up conspiracy theories, but I don't think there's anything. Yeah. I think it's just camera lens, although I can't explain it properly either. It's just straight lines going vertically, so it doesn't really make sense if it is a camera lens that is around. But
thank you very much for talking to me. And where can people find you on YouTube?
My channel, Electro Boom.
Electro Boom, a great channel. Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't search me with my last name. You will never find. Well, you'll find me, but you don't know how to spell my last name, so forget about it.
Well, there we go. Our first video shot in a high voltage cave hole.
I liked it.
I thought the footage was really cool. I was, especially with the spiral, the fact that the arc sort of traveled the plasma trail.
I guess it always just follows the easiest path, and that would have to be the easiest path.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, it makes sense when you think about it, but to see it, it's just like, that looks so weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make visual sense because, like you said, we're watching it in 2D.
Yeah. This would definitely be a great one to revisit, a decade from now. 50 million frames.
50? That's...
I'm being optimistic about the advancement of technology.
I feel like I'll be old, jittery.
In 10 years?
No, not in 10 years. You're not listening. In by the time they manage to get 50 million, and then I'll be like, they did it.
Why? Who's they?
The people making the cameras.
Okay. Yeah. Well, excellent. Big thanks to the Colorado School of Mines for letting us use their high voltage in addition to occasionally blowing things up.
And the cave holes.
And the cave holes. Make sure you subscribe for the video we upload in 10 years where we do this at 50 million frames a second. If you like slow-mo, here's some other videos we've made here at the Mines.